Hello and welcome. I'm Mercy, the head game master at HereThereBeMonsters, and we're back with another Working Wednesday stream. We'll be here for about an hour and a half today, and I'd invite you to join me and work on something you've been putting off. I've got 45 minutes on the clock. We'll take a 5-minute stretch break, and then we'll do 45 more minutes. You don't have to be working on D&D stuff, although that's what I will be doing. But I'd encourage you to join me in cleaning a room, doing your dishes, or anything else that you need to do. Hello, Gray Fox. Thanks for being here. Work app had problems. Dope. Well, I'm sorry for that, but I'm glad you're here. Also, if you're just tuning in, if you end up enjoying the vibes, if you wouldn't mind throwing a thumbs up on the video or the live stream and or the video, depending on how you're watching, we'd super appreciate that.
YouTube stream is now live.
Yes, thank you very much, Lumia. I have one small thing to do today and then one big thing to do today. We started last time with the statting out of a NPC that has been growing in prominence in the world of Rin, because I like to stat major or at least moderate to major NPCs because it helps me get in their head and think like them and flesh out any stories or motivations or anything like that. And also, if they ever end up being needed in combat in either direction, then they're ready to go as far as that goes as well. Ouch. This will be a spoiler-free stream, but as far as news goes for the world of Rin, we've got the next Kingdom episode. Ideally, I wanted to have that out by today. That obviously did not happen. So that will go up on probably Friday the 2nd of May. And then Friday the 3rd of May, we've got our next live session for the Kingdom of Rin campaign. So that's what's going on there. Chronicles played this previous Monday, so the Rin Chronicles episode will probably go up sometime next week. Well, how's your day going otherwise, Foxy? There is one pretty quick thing that I need to do. It should literally just be a minute or so. I just need to write down. I had a kind of a last minute thought for something to throw in my notes / prep document for the next session here. Okay. I was trying to think how I wanted to note this, because it's essentially a contingency. It's like if this thing happens with this character, then, you know, here's a note. And I see now how I want to write that out, because I already have a couple of those notes for other characters. It's going. You did some errands with your mom since you literally couldn't work. Oh, it's been all day? Oh, no. Very frustrating for your brain. You had the I need to work thing in your head all day. Yeah, I totally get that. I'm glad I did this, because I just noticed there is one other note that should be in this document that is not. which is last time we did this. I think it was last time. Maybe it was 2 times ago. Maybe 2 working streams ago. We did some fortune telling, and one of those was supposed to be pasted into my prep document in case it ends up being needed. And apparently I had not done that. So, caught that while I was doing the other thing. Oh. Oh, I see what happened. Okay. Okay. There we go. Okay. That is ready to go. Hello, Shalendor. Greetings and salutations, sir. How are you? Gray Fox, you worked on your therapy homeworks. You're trying. Oh, that's good. What an excellent way to redirect. You've been having more and more conversations with your mom. You think that you may potentially be on the spectrum. So you talked about the quirks and if you should go for official diagnosis. I mean, obviously that's a very personal decision, but I hope that you come to a decision that is satisfying to you as far as how to proceed or if to proceed. Okay. Yeah, the prep document, due in part to the large amount of Earth time that we have had between sessions here, my prep document for the next Kingdom session is extensive. I'm sure we will not use all of it, but that's okay. That's not really the purpose of prep. The purpose of prep is more to help me be prepared to improvise in the moment or deliver specific story beats if and when necessary. So I feel very prepared, pun intended. So now I'm grabbing the book that we're going to use for this NPC and trying to find what the heck happened to my pencil. There we go. At the moment, it's still just a thought. You don't want to dive in without knowing the facts as much as you can. Yeah, I understand that. I understand that for sure. We for different purposes, but you may remember that a year or so ago, I pursued some diagnostics for myself as well. And I even so, and that was after much debate. And even so, I still haven't really fully acted upon that. You had 2 unable to play last night, so you had to cancel. Dope. I'm sorry to hear that. Facing a flying polyp, and you would be down your healer and a spellcaster. Oh, yeah. I mean, flying in general. Flying when used correctly or used extensively is so strong in D&D. I need to do a little bit of reading here, so I'll still be checking chat obviously, but I'll be a little bit less responsive for a moment. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. You were on your airwalking spectral wolf. That's awesome. And immediately headed to the ground since it only has like 18 HP and falling from a couple hundred feet in the air was not part of the plan. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's so many pages of lore about this. I would have read this part ahead of time if I'd realized. Also had your were rat with you. Oh, nice. We almost had a were rat in the Kingdom of Ren originally. Sadly, to his perspective, he succeeded on the saving throw. Hello, Vincent. How are you doing? Your party is nearing the completion of the maze complex. Excellent. Left it on a cliffhanger with a young dragon ambush. Ooh, what color? Or type? You also plan to introduce a snow elf player who is also stuck within the maze. Any suggestions? Well, I think, oh, and it's a white dragon. Perfect. I was going to say, I think it depends a lot on what type of dragon we're talking about. Is the dragon associated with the maze, or is it just also coming there? Because white dragons obviously deal with cold, frost, ice, etc. So it's on a snow-capped mountain, and the dragon is part of the maze. Each room has a new environment. Oh, okay, okay. And you said, okay, and it is a new player, the snow elf. They're also stuck in the maze. What if there's something like the current snowy environment is being either completely created by, or at least its effects are being amplified by the presence of this white dragon, and that's wreaking havoc on the local ecology, and like that elf has come to try to defeat this dragon to like set things right in the environment. Reware creatures. Wow. Was that so? Were you guys like passing lycanthropy to each other? Holy cow. Oh, this is cool. Okay. I can spitball some other things at you, Vincent, if that didn't tickle your fancy, but that's the first thing that came to mind. Hey, Eclipse, thanks so much. Yes, doing well. A little bit worn out. The last couple weeks have been busy in a good way, but a little worn out. But overall doing well, and looking forward to D&D session this Saturday as well. It's so good to see you. As far as why he is there, the whole maze is a test from several nature spirits, almost lesser god level. Snow elf culture reveres winter and primordial spirits, so he came hoping to test himself, but got stuck in his wanderings. Got it. Okay, so you already have that part worked out. So you were asking more if I had any suggestions on like how to do the reveal, like how to bring the character in. He'd found a Harrow deck at low levels, and 3 drew the card that gave you were creature powers, and 2 that got the ability to create personal demi-planes. Holy heck. I'm reading about this class. 229. Hero decks are like a deck of many things. Only the cards don't disappear. Yeah, I guess that makes sense because otherwise you wouldn't be having repeats like that. About to bring them in on round 2 after the surprise round, and after the party having their first round. Got it. The first thing as far as like how to bring them in that popped into my mind was like, could they be like frozen? Right, and then the party like sets them free. I guess yeah. So I guess it depends on how you want the delivery, but I could see there being a moment of like, they find this like block of ice that has an elf in it, and then they do whatever they do to like get them loose, and then the elf has to like cry out like duck or whatever, and then the surprise round happens then. Doing it mid combat, yeah, being chased by the dragon and encountering the party. Although if the dragon's already ambushed the party, then that one doesn't work. What about if that doesn't tickle your fancy? What about something like they have, because they're a snow elf, that revere these cold spirits of nature and whatnot. He could maybe have some sort of like charm or power or whatever to like deflect or weaken or block the dragon's breath weapon. I want it to feel like he's been there longer than the party. Yeah, which is part of the reason why I originally thought of frozen in a block of ice. So I guess it depends on kind of the power level of your campaign and whether you want it to be more of like a heroic entry. You could also have it be, because obviously that's a super strong ability to give to snow elves as like a race. So it could be more of like he has like a talisman, like that's got like one use or one use left or something like that. So if you wanted to go more with the like protecting the party aspect, he could be like using his either one and only or his last like charge or whatever mechanic you want for being able to do that. So that way it's not just like a a crazy overpowered racial ability. I'm still kind of waffling on exactly how I want to implement this. What I might do is because I'm thinking it's going to be a multi-class character, is I know for sure what the first class is going to be. But I'm still kind of trying to sort out the second class. Yeah, of course. I'm always happy to workshop stuff with you, even if you don't end up using what we think of. For one, sometimes we end up going back and using things that we think of, and obviously, it's a good exercise for other folks that are hanging out as well. Oh, this is cool. I think this may have been what I wanted. Now we just need to decide on a level. What level makes sense for this NPC? I'm not going to answer that out loud because I feel like that's moderately spoilery. Oh, I know. Okay. So the last thing, ideally, I do try to follow, the rules as written, even when I'm making NPCs as much as possible. But we do occasionally have to hand wave a few things. For instance, in this case, I want to use a prestige class that has some entry requirements that would require the NPC to be higher level than I want. But they're just skill point requirements. So I think it's a pretty minor break of the rules to let them break the maximum skill points limit. And even then, only barely. So they would have to be at least X level in order to do that. And I was thinking of having them be more like X level -2. Yeah, because in order to truly build them rules as written, I would have to they would have to be level X +2, essentially, like 2 more levels in order to meet those requirements, right? Because it was X -2. What level they'd have to be in the other class to accomplish what I want with that class. Oh, this is perfect. Okay. We're good. I'm going to start putting pen to paper. I do need to run to the other room really fast, though. I'll be back in like less than a minute. Okay. Sorry, I had to chase down one of my cats and see what they were doing. Let the games begin. I think now that I've decided, we can get a pretty good... Oh, I should have grabbed my dice. That's okay. I'll pull up Tailspire so I don't have to get up again. All right, so class number 1 has a this hit die. Player name. The effective character level. Oh, right. Never actually finalized sub race either. So that class has that ability as a primary ability. The other class, I believe, has a different one. Oh, although there is some overlap. Oh, excellent. One of them is multiple attribute dependent, and it's the overlapping attribute with the other. So let's see, what are we? We're in version 3.5, so we get a feat every 3 levels and an ability score every 4. Man, that was something that threw me off. So we leveled up recently in the 5e campaign that I play in, and they don't give feats based off of hit dice. They give feats based off of class levels, which is different. So it's an additional downside to multi-classing that I was not aware of, which is fine. It's not like that's not the type of thing that I would expect somebody to just think of to warn someone about. So like nobody did me wrong by like not telling me or whatever. It just the folks that have played more 5th edition than me didn't think of it, and I didn't know what I didn't know, so I didn't know to ask about it. Whoops. Oh, I was trying to think of how to assign these ability scores. I like this. Okay, okay. And then I think the other class, ooh, but it's a prestige class. It might have a slightly better hit die than the base class that it's kind of based on. Using a 3 feat in 3-5 can be tough to decide depending on what you plan for your character. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, feats are such a defining feature, pardon the play on words, for how the system works. Oh, excellent. The two classes actually have the same hit die. So we need a sub race. Okay, here we go. I need gnomish sub races. If you had to guess, especially those of you that don't know much about 3.5, but how many gnomish sub races do you think there might be? At least in first party materials. Loki. What was that? The answer is, well, at least without level adjustment, there might be more, but for basic non-level adjusted gnomish sub races, there are 10. A water gnome monk. Very cool. Aquatic gnomes get a swim speed. I'm a little torn though. All of the gnomish subraces have a specific stat adjustment that doesn't quite fit with what I was thinking. And again, I know I can just do whatever I want, but let's look about basic gnome. Oh my gosh, basic gnomes do too. Crap. That's unavoidable. Well, that changes things a little bit. That's okay. I can make it work. It just alters her flavor a little bit. Let's look at this one that comes from Unearthed Arcana. I'm curious what the difference is because there are some of these sound fairly similar to each other. You were a party of monsters, so no one could breathe underwater. It was great. Yeah, no, I like that. Mm, nah, that one's not ticking the right boxes. Let me grab. Oh, the other book I wanted is actually right here. Also, that's an interesting happenstance because I was not expecting to need this book today. I I definitely did not get this out as part of planning for today's working stream. That was just dumb luck. That's not really doing it for me either. Um. Oh, yeah, okay, okay. I think I just thought of something that I had not put together yet. Okay. That question has been answered. Let's make the stat adjustments, and then we'll take our break. How are we doing on time? 3:30? Pretty good.
Team Rocket is the first chatter and has been first 6 times.
Hi, Rocket. It does indeed. We only just counted down here a couple minutes ago. How you doing, sir? Doing all right. Been a really rough week with way more bad behavior than is. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sure you're already thinking this yourself, but you're at least close to the end, right? When do you guys actually finish? You're taking tomorrow off to have a break that you need, and maybe some of the kids need too. I'm glad to hear that. Good job looking out for yourself and for them. 3 more weeks, not including this week. All right, all right. We're getting there. But still, I'm sorry that you're struggling right now. Is there, and you don't have to answer this here if you don't want to, but is there anything that that I or the community writ large could be doing to be supportive of you right now? Then you did, excuse me. Then you did get in for the summer school, so you got 2 weeks of that, and then your trip over is like right after that. I was gonna ask, like, you made sure that's not going to interfere, right? Not really. You just think that you needed to really take a day, to be honest. Maybe Friday also, but haven't fully pulled the trigger on that. Gotcha. Do you have enough time to take that if you need to? No, it's only the 2 weeks right after school get out, so there's like a week in between. Gotcha. Of like 4 days. Nice. Okay. I think I finished writing down at least everything that I might realistically need. I'm not going to go through for an NPC and write down every single um like weapon familiarity and that kind of thing. I don't think that makes sense. Okay, so there's just one thing that I want to double check that's racial related. I'm going to grab the SRD for that because it'll be easier probably. And then we'll go on break. I guess it was like 10 minutes over, but that's okay. Maybe I'll just put 30 minutes on the back end instead of 45 because it'll be about the same amount of time in total. Okay. That is exactly what I thought. Perfect. Okay, let's take a stretch break. If you haven't been up off your booty in a little while, now's a great time to get up, move around, refresh your water and whatnot. I'm going to take about 5 minutes to do the same, and then we will get back to it and try and finish up this NPC. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you haven't already had a chance to throw a thumbs up on the stream, I'd super appreciate it if you'd consider doing that. And while I'm gone, I'm also going to do a Pokemon Go battle. I'll let you know how it goes when I get back. All right. Hi, Foxy. Yeah, we're just going to do 30 on the back end here. Hate the old overlay. Sorry. My first battle was like slightly faster than expected, so I was like, I could do one more. And then that one, of course, was like about as long as it could possibly be. There's one subracial trait to change out here. All right. There we go. There's the confirmation that I needed. Lots of writing to do for this one. was a little bit less chatty and a little bit more co-worky than a lot of these streams are, but that's okay. Hope y'all are having good luck on whatever you're doing in the background as well. All right. I think that is the last of all of that. There were a number of spell-like abilities and other things that needed to get written down. Exactly, Kale. Gonna roll hit points here in just a sec. All right. I can get that out of my face. And we can go back into the class books and write down. Well, actually, let's do hit points. Let's get Tailspire open. So, any thoughts about what you're going to do with your day off tomorrow, Rocket? All right. And I need this many hit dice. size modifier for grapple is what, -4, I believe. Oh, right. I forgot that small also gets a bonus to AC and attack roll. Completely forgot about that. All is -4 grapple. That's correct. Well, that's interesting the way that that works out stats wise. I guess maybe we'll solve that with feats. All right, that's everything on page 1 related to race and whatnot. We just need to get base saves for classes now. I can probably get Tailspire out of my face. I don't think I have any more rolling I need to do. I guess I need to also write down. It's been a while since I made a 3/5 character outright that wasn't just me guiding somebody else through it. Oh god, the skill points. I don't really have any plans so far, but you could be convinced to make some Dota plans. Yeah, I'm probably down to play some Dota tomorrow, and or maybe a little Magic. I've been dabbling with Dota, but like very minimally. I'm doing like a couple games per week right now. In general, it's been going actually pretty well for me. I've climbed up. I'm like on average slowly climbing up in MMR. I'm up in the 2600s now. But whew, my last couple games have been rough. Let's see. My last one I had it was a 70-minute game and my pudge had 16 flesh heap. How do you have 16 flesh heap in a 70-minute game? But of course everything was my fault. And the one before that, I had a pause 3 sniper. That went about like you'd expect. Yeah, exactly, Rocket. That you've been playing Rainbow ranked with another friend, and that's been pretty fun. I'm glad you're having fun with that. I mean, honestly, I have mostly been having fun with Dota ranked. I've actually found it to be more fun to only like to limit myself to like essentially no more than 2 or maybe 3 days if I'm like super binging. But mostly I've been doing 1 or occasionally 2 games at a time, and that's actually increased my enjoyment quite a bit. Like one to 2 games at a time, and like 0 to 3 days a week. So I'm doing like probably an average of 2 or 3 ranked games a week now instead of like 2 or 3 a day. How am I doing on time? 5 more minutes. Not going to be done, but she will be mostly done. Have all the basic stuff written down. I'll just need at some point, and maybe I won't do this during a stream, but at some point she'll just need like feats and traits and that kind of thing. Ooh, wait, I just thought of something. Wrong class. He's in a prestige class instead. I've seen the Expedition 33 on Steam. It came out like a week ago. You've been kind of looking into it. Somebody posted the trailer. I haven't had a chance to actually look into it yet. What kind of game is it? Like, I don't even know. Looks kind of Final Fantasy. Oh, interesting. I thought I heard it was like pretty dark though. I heard that it was pretty dark, like fairly dreary looking, which I don't usually think of Final Fantasy in that regard. Got it. Got it. It's supposed to be good. It shows that, unlike what big companies say, turn-based games can be hits. Okay, so it is turn-based still then. I like some things that are turn based. I have not historically liked the kind of like old school Final Fantasy slash like old school Chrono Trigger type like turn based RPG, like two teams that stand against each other type combat. But I don't have anything against the turn based mechanic like as a whole. I just haven't gotten into that particular method. Oh, interesting. Okay. Let's see how I've done getting myself to a good stopping point / usability point here. Ability scores are done. Base attack bonus is calculated. Speed and initiative are done. Grapple is done. Saves. Oh, shoot. I looked that up and then I forgot to write it down. This is why we double check. It was very forgettable on the second class. That's why. Okay. Saves are good. Conditional modifiers are good. AC you can't really complete until you do items, which I definitely have not done yet. Gave up on Final Fantasy with 9, but you loved Final Fantasy through 6. 7 started having too many mini games to be to your liking. Oh, interesting. I didn't even know that those games had mini games. I thought 7 is the one that's like generally considered, like broadly speaking, to be kind of legendary, right? Feats we haven't done yet. That's fine. Racial traits and class features are done. Languages are done. Class skills and all that are written out. I'll save DCs. I'll finish that another time. Okay, so I think there's just one last thing that I need to write out really fast. Final Fantasy 7 was the one that took Final Fantasy mainstream. Got it. Oh, I do know one other note that I need to write to myself in the skills section, since I'm not doing that today. Perfect. Okay. I definitely could do more here, but my folks are coming over in a couple hours, and I want a little bit of time to myself before I have kind of my next commitment of the day. That's going to be fun, but like just being an introvert, I want a little bit of time to myself, so I want to make sure that I end at least close to on time here. So thank you all so much for joining me. Like I said, I know this one wasn't maybe quite as interactive as usually these working streams are, but sometimes that's the point, is sometimes it's more of a co-working thing. So thank you for being here, Fox and Kale and Shalandor. Thank you guys for chatting. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me. If you tuned in late, if you haven't already heard, we do have a Kingdom of Rin episode hitting YouTube on Friday. And then the next live session for Kingdom of Rin is this Saturday, the 3rd of May. Hope to see you there. And then obviously the next session, the one that we're doing live on the 3rd, that'll come up on YouTube a week or so later. So thank you all very, very much. Have a good rest of your day. Happy hump day again, in case I missed you with that. And our next stream for non-D&D stuff is Friday. I'm playing some Magic the Gathering over on Twitch. So take care. And as always, be excellent to each other. Thank you, Looney. You too.